Starfield is boring. How dare you? How dare you say that? Only a Sony pony would ever say that anything on Xbox is bad.
This is the introduction to Fallout 4.
Alright, that's it. Send it down.
Almost there. We're gonna be okay. I love you. Both of you.
We love you too.
Fallout 4, honestly, even though it's not the greatest game in the universe, it does have a good introduction, okay? It does really actually have a good introduction.
Oh my god!
Now! Send it down now!
Hold on!
Can't this thing move faster?
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god!
Nice.
This is the introduction to Skyrim.
What in oblivion is that?
Sentries, what do you see?
It's in the clouds.
I mean, if we ignore the part that looks absolutely atrocious nowadays, then, you know, it's pretty good.
Don't just stand. Guards, get the townspeople to safety! Someone... Keep your eyes on the kinsman. Get up! Come on, the gods won't give us another chance. This way!
This is the introduction to Mass Effect 2.
Ooh.
Baby, hold together.
I never played Mass Effect. Doesn't look bad.
Hold together.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the introduction to Starfield.
No.
Grab a cutter and my...
How long have I been saying this? The introduction to Starfield is 20 minutes of you being just bored and nothing happening. They don't even say anything about the universe or anything. No, they're just like, mining rocks, fun, hey you mine rocks? Yeah, oh nice. That's so stupid.
Find what you can. Metal deposits are in that cavern. I'll shout out when I need you.
You think we'll be done here soon? Oh, I hear this is the last day.
And you can see the laser clipping through the rock. Beautiful.
The introduction to all of these games set the tone for the rest of the experience. Fallout's post-apocalyptic world is interesting and fun to explore.
True.
The Elder Scrolls world is fun and interesting to explore. Mass Effect's world immerses you from the start into a galactic war filled with intrigue and interesting alien races. Starfield's world is bland, boring, and not fun or interesting to explore.
You should probably also add dull, and it all looks the same. Then we have a full description of Starfield's world.
Even if it was, the quest design and gameplay loop in Starfield is, at least in my personal experience, boring. There will be minor story spoilers in this video, so if you are super sensitive to spoilers,
Yeah, that
you
seems
have been
about
warned.
right, baby.
I really wanted to like Starfield. My love for video games can mostly be attributed to my love for Skyrim and Fallout 4.
Hey, I wanted Starfield to succeed, but even before the game came out and we saw the gameplay trailers, nah, it's not. It was painfully visible that it's gonna be shit.
My YouTube channel's success also came from those two games. I love Bethesda Game Studios, and I was incredibly excited for this game. So much so, me being a...
Oh, so this is gonna be a Starfield is boring, but from a Bethesda fanboy review. Boys, you know what that means. We're gonna probably hear great things like, well, you need to rate it as a Bethesda game, or maybe the always hot and lovely. There's so much in this game, but sadly, they have no basic game functions. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Complete moron, I bought the collector's edition. Although the collector's edition is actually quite neat. The watch is cool. I also booked 2 weeks off of work to play it.
Great.
I plan to cover Starfield mods on this channel and was excited for a brand new BGS game to immerse myself into and play for 1,000 hours or more like I have Skyrim and Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's
I
some
have
good
played
accuracy.
the entire main story, which took me about 20 hours or so, and a few small side quests. While the faction quests might be more interesting, I've heard they are, the main story was so uninteresting and boring, I cannot bring
By the way, he's using a shotgun. I think this is supposed to be a shotgun because it kind of always looks like a shotgun as a sniper, I think.
myself to spend any more time playing a game
Or
that
is
I
this not a
just
shotgun?
don't
I can't even tell. Some of the gun designs are just nonsensical bullshit if you think about it. Some guns have like 50 wires in them for no apparent reason whatsoever, and you can't tell why. Everything in Starfield is over-designed and useless. Every environment has like 20 different... No, 20 is not a little. Every single room in Starfield has 500 different set pieces in it because it needs to look stupid.
enjoy. After the first 5 or 6 hours of this game, I had not gotten hooked yet, and I was starting to worry. I had done some
5 or 6 hours, dude. You can figure out this game is trash in like 20 minutes of gameplay. Being stuck in a cave doing nothing for 20 minutes after encountering a 10-second pirate battle? Bruh, you already know the game's gonna be bad then, okay? Anyone who needs 10 hours to figure out this game is bad might as well be one of those people who say, wait a minute, you need to wait for a new game +3, and then 20 hours into the game, that's when the fun starts. No, I don't think it does.
exploring, some really lame and boring side quests, and a little bit of the main story. I wasn't feeling it, so I took to social media and reviews to see what other
Side quests are absolutely garbage, because then you have to talk to people in dialogues, and it's stupid. You know, one of the first... Okay, let me just explain how bad side quests are. Let's use the first side quest that I think most people find in the first main city, right? It's like the art dude that wants you to get illegal stuff, right? That side quest makes no sense. First of all, the guy is almost at the same place. Second of all, the guy understands that he's duping someone who doesn't know they're doing something illegal. Third, when your reaction is, well, you can't do illegal things, nothing bad happens. He just ignores you. There's no option to, like, tell the police that that guy is bad or anything like that if you want. You know, none of that. In the... No, this is not Mars. This is another planet. Some kind of planet... No, maybe it is Mars. I don't remember. So there's some planet where the whole colony is suffering power outages. And why is it suffering power outages? Because, you know, there's ice on the wind turbines. By the way, wind turbines don't work in, you know, places where there's a lot of wind. As that planet, the wind turbines just literally break. So wind turbines are not actually a good source of energy. But hey, I get it. That's too much realism for Starfield fans, you know? And you need to defrost those wind turbines. The whole colony is suffering power outages on a regular basis. Why? Because some random girl is now new for the position and she doesn't feel like she can manage it. And she's responsible for all of the energy problems the colony is suffering. And you know what? Everyone's pissed that that's happening. But no one can be asked to actually, like, defrost the wind turbines. So they need to find a random dude who accepts that job. It's so stupid.
other people were saying. I read on Twitter that the game gets good after 8 hours or so. Another person said they recommended playing the main story to get an understanding of the game. I also watched a Jake Baldino video where he says Starfield grew on him. So I thought, I'll keep going, I'll play through the main story and see if it does get better. To be fair, it did get better, but not so much better that I started enjoying the game, which is a real shame. I'm going to do one more comparison before I get into the meat of this review, comparing two very similar situations and how they played out in Starfield and in Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh boy.
To set this up, In Starfield, you have a meeting with a shady organisation to buy an artifact, but the seller is trying to scam you for double the price. In Cyberpunk, you have set up a meeting with a shady gang where you can buy a robot called the Flathead, but the seller is trying to scam you to pay for it, even though the person you work for has already paid for it. This is one of the ways it can play out in Starfield.
So you're Stroud. You look different in person.
Our public relations always insists on doing some touch-ups for the official photos. Embarrassing, really.
Your security here going to stand or sit for this little meeting, making me nervous.
It's security, you fucking loser. God, I hate how bad the text dialogue is in Starfield. It's at no point is anything in Starfield convincing. Every single person you speak for the first time in Starfield is acting like your best goddamn friend from childhood. It is dumb.
So polite. Almost makes me forget what planet I'm on.
Am I to assume that briefcase has our item of interest?
You see what I mean? No, this is a flower vase. What else could it be? Of course not.
Yeah, here it is.
Well, look at that.
One of a kind. And I know you want it.
I have the...
You see what I mean? The dialogue is just horrible. And this is not AI generated. Someone in Bethesda, most likely with pink and purple and blue hair and a record of being obnoxious and stupid, wrote this. And they thought, yes, this is excellent, this is convincing. Let's point out the obvious. You know how bad Starfield's dialogue is? Actually, I'll show you, we just need to wait a bit.
The amount we agreed on.
Things have changed.
You see, this is how bad the dialogue is. Not the fact that he's saying It's the fact that you know exactly. It's the fact that the first dot is gonna explain the situation, and after that first dot, there's just gonna be a reverberation of what already the first sentence kind of meant most of the time. So, if you want to understand the dialogues in Starfield perfectly, all you need to do is just read the first sentence up to the dot, and then BAM! You understand everything that there is in the sentence, and the next two lines, you don't have to read it, because there's no additional new information input. It's just a further explanation of something you already know. This is how bad the dialogue is.
I want double.
Now, how am I supposed to do that?
I don't know, but your security here seems to have some fancy gear. Why don't they chip in? Not my problem.
It is if you leave empty-handed. We came here in good faith. Now honor our previous agreement.
You either figure out a way to give me what I want, or I walk out of here right now. I leave now. I can get a jump start on the people after me, instead of you all wasting my time.
You'd be on your way already if you just take the money I'm offering you and shut up. What's it going to be? Take or walk?
You can't. None of this is convincing. The dialogue is just woefully shit at convincing anything. There's no, it feels like there's literally no meaning to the dialogue ever. There's almost nothing in Starfield that even resembles decent dialogue closely. It just doesn't exist. All conversations are bland and feel like they're written by a 10-year-old. It's just sad.
You trying to steal from me?
As you can see, we're in control. Take advantage of our generosity. Take the money.
Why is there no option to, by the way, not give him any money and just take the artifact? He wanted to dupe you? Bruh. That's not happening. Send a message. Just fucking murder the guy. You fuck with me? Nah, you don't get to do that. Your brains are on that glass, I assume? Yeah. You're done. Okay? But you can't do that in Starfield. There are so many NPCs that are just marked vital, aka you can't kill them. You can't damage them. And it sucks because everyone who has played a single other Fallout game knows that you can do a quest and then kill the NPC you need to talk to, and that's great. In this game, nah, everything's almost marked unkillable. You have no option of, killing a bunch of raiders and killing then the pilot they held hostage and just say, whoopsie doopsie, well, the pilot already was killed by the pirates. How does it make sense that the pirates actually keep the pilot alive in the first place? I don't know, but whatever.
All right. Okay. It's all yours. Hope I never see any of you people ever again.
Horrible conversation.
This couldn't have gone better.
This is one of the ways it plays out in Cyberpunk 2077.
Alright, you chilled, V. Remember, we're on their turf. So what do you want?
You got a bot. Model MT0D12, called the Flathead.
And? The hell you care?
Guy I represent already paid Brick for it. I'm just here for the pickup. I can talk direct to Royce if necessary.
Nah, you talk to me. Name's Dum Dum. Now couch, planet.
Dum Dum. That's funny.
Well, shit. Goes for you, too. I'll stand. This so fucking hard? Fucking ass on the fucking couch! Make me. Thought you'd never ask. Sit your ass down for a planet bullet in your skull.
Sit down.
This ain't gonna end well, but... shit. Well, alright. Come on. Gotta lighten up. Take a hit. Better? Now we can talk.
I mean, it's not perfect, but... bruh, the comparison is not even close, okay? This is miles better.
Here we go. A Flathead. Model MT0D12.
Need to see it.
Suit yourself. Fucking tricked out, this thing. Dynamic thermo-optic camo armor. Full cognitive immersion with a Raven controller. Pimped out prototype actuators made of titanium, vanadium, Kevlar composite. And watch this. Fully integrated link too, so when the spider starts crawling up walls dangling from ceilings.
Could lose your lunch.
So what you think?
It'll have to do.
Look at that. Picky little fucker. Let's see your cred.
Brick got it. It's all paid out.
Brick got it. I don't see any fucking brick around here, do you?
Come on. Can't expect me to pay for this thing twice.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? You'll pay twice because I say you'll pay twice. Alright. You want the
The music is just too much, honestly, for me.
flathead? I better see some eddies.
Seeing as you already got the eddies for it, you ought to offer us a discount. A big one.
A discount? Fuck. You know, you never did say who sent you. Never did say who you're working for.
Dexter Deshawn. That's who.
Dexter Deshawn. The lord ass who punching animal fucked half of Pacifica? And he ain't dead?
No, he's alive, well, and kicking. And he sends his regards.
So I'm gonna consider my offer now. Bang.
Bring it, cocksuckers!
It's pretty clear what I'm getting at here, right? In Starfield, you will...
I mean, do you expect Bethesda to try to make your game? No. 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 Obviously not. Anyone who thinks Bethesda will ever put input and try and make a game good is absolutely delusional. Bethesda relies on the fact that they make a bare bones game and then a couple of completely insane people mod it and fix all of the issues. Starfield is 5 steps back at this point. It has the worst loading system, it has the worst menu system, it has the worst interfaces, it has, well, pretty much everything, honestly. If they just copy-pasted Fallout 4's interfaces and everything, the game would have already been better. There's no space exploration because space exploration is stupid and boring. There's no any exploration because you only want to use loading screens and fast travel for it. And if you don't know how to use loading fast travel properly, you're probably going to be stuck on an average of 3 to 4 loading screens per action, per travel. Where it's going to be 4 loading screens in between 5 seconds of gameplay, which is stupid and shit. It's just... This is the worst Bethesda game ever. And this is one of the most worst games, you know, just in general, ever.
Spend a good chunk of your playtime in dialogue, talking to NPCs. I don't have an issue with this. Disco Elysium is one of my favourite games of all time, and that game is mostly dialogue. I also liked Pentiment, which is also mostly dialogue. However, Starfield's dialogue is boring. I never once came away from a conversation with a smile on my face thinking, that was a fun and enjoyable interaction. With a game so dialogue heavy, you need to have interesting characters, and all of the main story companions...
Oh, and by the way, the reason this matters so much is because the first roughly 5 to 7 hours of this game is dialogue. Especially if you have played Bethesda games before. Because the way this game does it is, you start off in a mining facility and you 20 minutes of nothing. Then you kill a couple of pirates and, you know, in 10 seconds. And then you go to another place and kill a couple of pirates. That takes like 20 minutes of very, very sad and bad gameplay, where you're probably going to be almost running out of ammo because, well, obviously, realism is a huge part of Starfield, so it takes 50 plus bullets to kill a basic level 2 enemy. It is what it is. Anyway, after that, you get sent to the main city. The biggest main city in the game. And if you have played these sort of games, you know that you're gonna just like explore the main city and find and talk to everyone. And if you do that, guess what? You're gonna find one quest that takes you fighting, and like 5 different quests, well, 5 different quests plus, that are gonna take you to other main cities to talk to more people. So, in the first 10 hours of Starfield, roughly, you're actually not gonna experience probably a lot of combat. Maybe 1 hour of combat at the maximum, okay? If you don't just rush the main quest or actively seek the combat. And, well, with dialogue this bad, that's a problem.
In Starfield, are bland and uninspiring. Let's do more comparisons. So Mass Effect has a lot of companions, and almost all of them are interesting, and conversations with them are enjoyable. The same goes for Baldur's Gate 3. The same can also be said for the romanceable and notable characters in Cyberpunk 2077. Starfield's companions suck. Sarah Morgan is a bland milquetoast leader who has nothing interesting to say except she played in a band. Sam Coe is a space cowboy who loves his daughter, a concept that should make for an interesting character, right? No, talking to him almost puts me to sleep. The only good one is Barrett, who is a Han Solo type explorer who somehow manages to get himself out of impossible situations with his charm and intelligence. The other companions are so forgettable, I don't remember their names. I know Bethesda can do better. Nick Valentine.
I remember Sarah's name because she hates when I steal shit. So she always yells in the room that I'm stealing, next to the people that I'm stealing from, that I steal shit. It's quite annoying.
From Fallout 4 is more interesting than all of Starfield's companions combined.
Yep.
The gameplay loop in Starfield sucks. It's fast travel to planet, talk to a dude, fast travel to another planet, talk to another dude, fast travel to another planet, do 5 minutes of combat, and then fast travel back to the lodge with an artifact.
And by the way, that combat can be either excruciating or good. Usually it's bad, by the way. Usually the combat is like super bad. But the combat in Starfield does actually get good at one point. And that point is, considering no one playtested this game and the game has zero balance, there is a chance that you actually find like a weapon that can one-shot any enemy in the game, because, you know, your average weapon does like, I don't know, let's say 10 damage per bullet. Well, you can easily find a weapon that does 2k damage per bullet. And it's not even a rare weapon, it's just the way it is. And then combat actually seems decent-ish. You know, at least it's bearable, because you're actually, like, dealing damage and killing enemies. But the average combat in Starfield is you need two full mags of 50 bullets to kill a basic enemy. That's the average combat. It sucks. And there is no melee combat, by the way. It doesn't exist.
It's unsatisfying and too broken up by planet hopping and ship landing cutscenes. The difference between Starfield's exploration and exploring one big map like Fallout 4 and Skyrim is stark. The planet hopping breaks immersion, and I don't like it. I much prefer having one big map to explore. One of the late game main...
Yeah, the irony is, if Starfield was, you know, Fallout 4 but not in space on one single planet, it could have been actually a bearable game. Maybe. It would still be kind of shit, but at least it wouldn't be a 4 out of 10. Because currently, yeah, this game is a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. I'm completely done with it. Previously, it was like a 5 or 6. At the start, it was a 7. But man, the longer you spend thinking about it, the worse it gets, honestly.
Main story quests was wandering around an empty building for 15 minutes. Finding batteries to slot in to power up doors. There were a few quests just as boring as that. One of the side quests I did was 15 minutes of wandering around flipping circuit breakers. There are some things that I do like about Starfield. One of those things is the role-playing. The game allows you to focus your character and mold them into who you want them to be. The addition of backgrounds and traits is fun and allows...
The addition of backgrounds and traits is nothing new. Which game had it? Morrowind? I think Morrowind had it or something like that. But this is not new. This is not new in the slightest. And by the way, these backgrounds do nothing. They add fucking nothing. That's the reality of it. They don't improve your gaming experience at all. They give you like 1 or 2 unique dialogue options at completely random points in the game for nothing that matters. And guess what? Those completely random dialogue options also don't matter. Yeah? How about... Yeah, you probably expected that.
For some interesting role-playing and dialogue, and for sure encourages multiple playthroughs. Not that I personally will be doing multiple playthroughs, but for those that will, that's great. Even if you do only one playthrough, it's nice to be able to create your own unique, personalised character. The persuade mechanic is interesting. It allows you to pick from a few dialogue options of varying risk and reward levels to try and get the required number
The persuade mechanic is shit.
of points to pass the persuade check. Certain backgrounds or having...
Because the persuade mechanic, I would actually love it if there was depth to it. When first I saw this persuade mechanic, I thought it's, whoa, wait a minute. If I understand this person, the persuade mechanic is like real life manipulation. You have to understand this person and, you know, rub off on them and blah blah blah. And then it turns out no, it's just RNG. Do you actually does what you click actually work? It's pretty fucking stupid.
Gotten unique information from other NPCs can make these easier and give you more options, which is really nice. Not much more to say about this. I actually like the persuade mechanic. The ship combat is also fun. It's the best part of the game for me. The most fun I had was doing the space combat simulator exam. I wish there was more space combat in the main story. The encounters I had were against higher level ships, so I had to flee. I'm sure with a better ship or in the faction quests there is more space combat, and it is certainly a massive strength for the game. If I did play...
The space combat is a massive weakness for the game. It's dull, it's boring, it's stupid, it's just that.
More Starfield, I would want to focus on ship combat content. The user interface...
You don't want that. Everyone is happy to skip ship combat because it's boring. No one wants that. Also, no one talks about the talent points, but the talent points limit the game, how it's played. And the talent points are almost all without question 100% boring percent increases. Like, look at this. Ballistic weapons, 30 more. Yeah, that's it. That's your talent point system. It's shit. It's like the Bethesda decided, hey, you remember Fallout New Vegas' talent points? Those were fun. Oh, and you remember those things where you use 100 stim packs, you get an achievement or whatever it's called, you know, a milestone? I don't remember what they're called. That, you know, passively increases the efficiency of stim packs by like 10% or 5%. Yeah, let's combine these two things together and add none of the good parts about it. This is Starfield's talent points.
Is nice. It's all fairly simple to navigate with plenty of helpful shortcuts and gives you all of the information you need. It looks clean, it's nice, and I like it.
No.
The music is fantastic. Einonzer is incredibly talented.
The music is forgettable. It really is forgettable.
The perk system also allows you to focus your build to roleplay a specific type of character. There are a good amount of skills and skill trees that let you specialise and build the character that you want to build. However, progression is annoyingly slow, and some basic game mechanics, like the ability to sneak and pickpocket, are locked behind perks you have to spend a valuable perk point on. I understand
Oh, but you can take the background that you are a thief and you can sneak. What if I don't want to do that? What if I don't want to do that?
Only played the main story, so I didn't reach a particularly high level, but I should be able to, having beaten the entire main story, build out my character to make them feel uniquely strong in certain aspects of the game's mechanics. It didn't feel like that to me. All of the interesting perks are locked off until you reach really high levels, and I never got beyond the second level perks. After 20 hours, I would have expected a lot more progression. It feels like the perk system is designed for new...
Yeah, remember how impactful it felt to level up in Fallout 3 New Vegas? Or honestly, you know, even Fallout 4 at least was somewhat useful, right? But in this game, level up is just like, wow, 5% more ballistic weapon damage. I'm so happy, Bethesda. Spoil me more, please.
New Game Plus, which is really lame. The NASA punk style just doesn't resonate with me. I absolutely love sci-fi. I love The Expanse TV show.
Yeah, I love sci-fi and also actually love The Expanse TV show. Nice mention there. But, wow, this sucks.
I love Mass Effect and I love Star Wars. Starfield's semi-realistic NASA aesthetic just doesn't vibe with me. I find it boring.
It's not even realistic. I went over this in a different video, but Starfield has literally no realism attached to it. Nothing in Starfield is based on any single shred of realism. Literally. The story doesn't make sense, the ships don't make sense, what you do doesn't make sense, the diplomacy doesn't make sense, the factions don't make sense. There's not a single shred of anything that makes sense in this game.
There is not enough sci-fi in this sci-fi game. Mass Effect has lots of alien races who you can meet on the Citadel, all with interesting lore. The Expanse has super compelling characters, and Star Wars has space wizards wielding laser swords. Starfield has...
And Twi'leks. Don't forget hot Twi'leks.
Metal artifacts that spin around when they get close to each other. Great. I did a little bit of messing around with the outpost system, but it honestly just reminded me of the resource gathering system in Fallout 76, which I absolutely hate. It felt like maybe it was more of an endgame mechanic, so I just didn't do...
Wait, that is actually a sniper rifle, I think. Dude, I got this, but I never tried because I thought it looks like a shotgun. What the fuck?
Like, maybe it was more of an endgame mechanic, so I just didn't do much with it. A quick note on the ending, without spoiling anything. I'm sure some people will like it. I mean, it's interesting in some way, I guess.
Really not.
But by the time I got there, I was so fed up, I just wanted it to be over. So that may have affected my thoughts on it. From a technical level, the game runs okay. Certainly the most bug-free.
Well, actually, yeah, on a technical level, I guess it's not the worst. I was a little bit offended when I installed Starfield and it automatically cranked me to the absolute lowest settings on everything, which is not even remotely close. My computer's like 40 years old or something, so it's not that bad. You know, it actually can run the game very easily and very smoothly. But you know, I mean,
Bethesda Game Studios game at launch, and I'm even playing in early access. I imagine there will be a day one patch. There were a few weird moments with character.
How do these people play Bethesda games not understand how Bethesda functions? I literally just don't understand this. Bethesda will only patch bugs that literally break the game so you can't progress. If anything interferes with the cash shop, Bethesda will fix that. But other than that, Bethesda will never fix a single bug. That's what the free modders are for. They're gonna fix the game. They're gonna make better graphics. They're gonna add DSL III support or whatever it's called.
Just clipping into objects and getting stuck, and an elevator panel not working, which meant I had to fast travel to get out of somewhere. Also, there is no HDR, at least on PC, which is strange. Like I said at the start of this video, I really genuinely wanted to love Starfield, and it looks like most people that reviewed the game before me did love, or at the very least like Starfield. So, if you're watching this video and you're thinking you might not want to play Starfield, you might still like it, because it seems like most people do, and I'm very much in...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Most people don't like Starfield. 15% of the people who played Starfield on Steam literally could not fucking bear the first 20 minutes of the game and don't have the achievement for finishing the first 20 minutes of the game, aka going to space for the first time. Then there's the second achievement that everyone gets, I forgot what it's called, but more than 30% of everyone who has played on Steam has not finished that achievement, and that achievement is like 1 hour into the game. Well, 1 or 2 hours into the game. Yeah, it's just by the 10-hour mark, I think 99% of people have already quit this game to never return.
In the minority here, which is a real shame. I really wish that wasn't the case. I'm probably going to see if I can cancel the second week of my 2 weeks off work and spend the 1 week playing Baldur's Gate 3, maybe also finishing my Mass Effect 3 Renegade run I started before Starfield, while I eagerly await Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
Hey, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty is actually going to be good. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. Okay, is there a plug at the end? Bruh, how do you not fucking plug yourself, not Howlar? Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.